Hey everybody, I'm Bret Savage, and as you can see, it's 10:37. It's a little late for me to be recording this, but it's all right. So today I will be discussing my animation that I just did for my 4-week project that's going to Imagine. I think my learning goal for this was just to get better animation, not really anything else. I feel like I improved a ton on my animating skills, as well as just getting more familiar with Flash, and I even learned a few things. I think the end result was alright. Many people, non-animators, would say it's pretty good, but after I got done, I can nitpick a few things out of my animation. They're pretty small, but I think that they're a pretty big deal to me and my quality in my animation. To show what I learned, I'm going to take you through some frame-by-frame animation. Ooh, yay! This is going to be fun. Maybe for you, not for me. But, as you can see, this is one of the scenes in my animation where he kind of throws his head down and it comes back up and it shows his face. Right up here, you see this thing called a timeline. And I explained this more in my video about my sprite animation. I'll put that link in the description, and maybe I'll explain it a little better in that video because I'm pretty exhausted right now. But as you can see, right here's your timeline, and you have your frames all throughout here. A frame is just basically a little spot where you can draw, and it's a little set point in time. And you have a frame rate right here, 30 frames per second. So if you play it, it goes 30 frames per second. So here you have just multiple keyframes where you draw different images in a sequence of events to where you want it to go. So if I wanted him to throw his head down and then have it come up like this, I had to draw a new body for every frame there was, which was a little difficult, but I got the hang of it eventually. Also, throughout my animation, you can see my drawing skills improve on a gigantic level. Like, it's crazy. So, yeah, you have your frames right here, and you have a different image. So when it goes, it looks pretty fluid as it comes up, and I add a little flash for some effect. So yeah, that's some frame-by-frame stuff, and to demonstrate, I will open up a new Flash animation. New frame. Sorry. Okay, change my stage to white for a second. Okay, so here you have your frames. You can go down here, insert a frame. You have a whole bunch of frames right here you can draw into. For this project, I used a few different methods. Let's say we want to draw a circle moving across the screen. So you have a poorly drawn circle right there. You insert a new keyframe, delete it, and I used this thing called onion skin, which lets you see in the past. So you have your frame before it, what was in your frame before, or you can draw correspondingly to that. Let's make it go bigger. So if I insert a keyframe there, modify this so it's like that, delete that, then just keep drawing circles. Eventually, you will get to the point where you have a big old crappily drawn circle moving across your stage. So as you can see, the frame-by-frame stuff I just did makes it look like the circle is flying off the screen. Like just moving. It's a little choppy, but it's just an example of how frame-by-frame stuff works. I think the plan for this project, I originally had a very dark story going for it, but in the middle of it, I kind of lost track of time and I had to make some cuts and change the storyline dramatically. Originally, it was going to involve death and everything and very sad stuff. Drugs. Very sad stuff. I changed it to just something goofy and stupid, which is it's something I would do. That being said, I will now present my project, so please enjoy. Throughout this project, I learned that you need to plan ahead. I mean, if you were doing something, like for example, if I were to go with my original storyline, I would have had to work on this thing for about maybe 3 hours a night at least to get it done and to look decent. I kind of had a plan going, and then it almost fell apart because because I had extracurricular activities. I got ill, so pretty much my plan just fell apart, and I had to go with the wind almost and just complete it. And I think it turned out pretty well for not having too great of a plan going for me. I vastly improved my drawing skills through shading and just background textures and everything. I learned to animate more fluidly, and that's pretty much it. I think if I were to do future animations, that they would go a lot better, because this is almost kind of like a test run, like a crash course, basically, because I was trying a lot of new things in this animation, and some worked out and some didn't. Had some trouble exporting, yeah. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.